What is phytoplankton? It's the basis of the entire food chain of the whole planet Earth. So it's phyto, it's P-H-Y-T-O, and then plankton, P-L-A-N-K-T-O-N, like walk the plank. Plankton. Anyway, it's the basis of the whole food chain of the whole planet Earth. Phytoplankton produces more oxygen on the planet than all the forests combined times 3. It's by far the most important organism on the whole Earth. I mean, it's the basis of what goes on in our oceans. It's the basis of all the marine ecosystem. It's the basis of sulfur for all the land ecosystem, because sulfur is produced, it's excreted by plankton, it goes up in evaporation, falls on the land, and then all the trees pull in sulfur. And wild food contains sulfur for that reason. It's all coming from one organism, plankton. Well, some scientists got on this and were like, well, wait a second, we should probably try to get this so we can eat this, because whales eat it, you know, dolphins eat it, and animals in the ocean eat it. Let's see if we can eat it. Anyway, it turns out it's food for all animals, at all ages, and all plants, at all stages. Did you have a question about that? Yeah.
Does E3 live fall in that category?
E3 live is a microalgae, but it is not a marine phytoplankton.
What kind do you take?
We've got it now in a... Check this out. This is the latest and greatest thing down the pipe. Obviously, since we're all into live food, if we could have the algae or the plankton live and raw, it'd be probably a lot better than cooked. I mean, I don't know why you would cook algae, but, you know, people cook everything. Anyway, this is Isabella. Yay.
But I've got to leave, so I just wanted to shake hands or she'll kiss you if you want.
Yay.
Thanks, dude.
I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. No, we're going to Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
No. See you later.
Have the best day ever.
We're going to eat turkey.
Actually, we're going to stop people from cooking.
That guy and I drove around the whole country for years in our bus, our biodiesel bus, with our whole band. He's the bassist in the Healing Waters band. Did you ever hear the Healing Waters band? Sure. My band. He's the bassist, wrote all the music. I'm the drummer. Fun stuff. Anyway, let's get back to basics. The basic organism on the planet is plankton, and therefore it is food for every organism on the whole Earth. You can feed it to your dog, you can feed it to a cat, you can feed it to a gerbil, you can feed it to a mouse, you can feed it to a snail, you can feed it to a plant, whatever. It's a complete protein source. It contains DHA and EPA, the same stuff that is in cod liver oil, but it's a plant. It's the best plant source of DHA and EPA in the world, and it's probably the only EPA and DHA source that is 100% pure and clean of contaminants. On top of that, it's easily one of the highest mineral content foods and antioxidant content foods going. Now, minerals, I could go down the list. It contains practically every known mineral, something around 90 minerals. There's nothing that contains 90 minerals unless maybe ocean-grown wheatgrass. Ocean-grown wheatgrass, maybe. A friend of mine has been playing around with this stuff, and he came up with an incredibly genius idea. These guys figured out that you can actually take anything and suspend it in a solution of sodium. You have to evaporate the sodium out of ocean water, and if you get that sodium down 93% and you take that solution and you put anything in it, like you just put a blueberry in it, close the lid and just leave it in that liquid for a year, take the blueberry out, it will be completely preserved. Anything. You put anything in there. You name it. You can put a toenail in there.
What is it?
Now here's what they did. They thought, my God, let's put live phytoplankton in there. And that's what they're doing now. And so we actually are the only distributor of that product in the world. That product is amazing. It's like E3 Live Liquid, you know that one? But it's phytoplankton.
Is it in the store right now?
I don't think it's here. It's one of those little specialty
things. What's the
things.
brand name?
It's called Oceans Alive. And we'll make sure, we'll hook up Fabian, we'll get him a few of those, get it over here.
Oceans Alive.
Yeah, Oceans
Fabian,
Alive.
make sure you tell me.
I don't know. She wants to. Where do they make it? Where I mean,
Oh, it comes out of the Atlantic Ocean. It's phytoplankton from the Atlantic Ocean, and the ocean water actually comes out of the Pacific Ocean. So it's a combination of that. You have any on you? Do you have it on you right now?
Oh,
1 drop of that stuff. I'm going to give you 1 drop.
Okay.
1 drop of that stuff is powerful. You're not even going to believe it. Watch this. Why don't you stand up?
So, can it be ordered online? Or
Yeah, it's... By the way, my website is sunfood.com. But if you ever want anything, you order through Fabian. He gets it in here. That's how it works. Okay, you ready? 1 drop. Okay, ready? Stick your tongue out.
Tripping on phytoplankton.
Can I get some too?
Hold on.
Can I get some too?
What's your comment?
Creamy, tasty green.
It's a pretty interesting comment. Thank you so much. Let's give her a round of applause. All right, we're going to give 1 more person a try.
Round back.
Come here. This is my favorite toy right now. This is what it is too. It's all toys. You know, it used to be like, it's a yacht or some car or whatever. That's not doing any good for the planet. Here we go. It's from plankton. Little tiny organisms. Okay, okay, how do you feel about that? How was that? Isn't that powerful? Okay, ready? Nice.
So what's plankton? Is it like...
It's the smallest organism in the ocean. It's the smallest organism in the ocean. Just a little tiny organism, but it's the basis of all the food of the whole Earth. And so basically what's happening is, in the chaos of whatever that is out there, it's going so back to basics that like somebody figured out, like, well, why don't we just go right to the very basic unit of food on the whole planet, which is plankton, and eat that, see what happens. I've been eating it. I've been seeing what happens. I love this kind of stuff. I mean, this is just because there's always something new coming down the pipe.
Where are you with seaweed?
Where am I with seaweed? I think seaweed's the best ever because it's a wild food and it's awesome.
But it's raw. It's raw.
I wouldn't say all the seaweeds out there are raw. Some are not raw. But we'll get there. We'll do questions and answers. So let's get through this whole thing here. So the number 1 microalgae, in my opinion, is marine phytoplankton. Number 2, this is just my opinion, spirulina. And I like spirulina because it works for a lot of people. Blue-green algae is great, and I think it's an awesome food, but I can't personally eat it really. It's a little too strong for me, or something like, you know, after a while I'm like, I don't know. Spirulina, better. It's a little more useful. Now you might disagree with me. You might go, no, you know, I think blue-green algae is better. That's good, that's fine. That's just my own personal opinion. The thing about all these foods is you just add them in, you put them out there, and if you like it, great. If you don't like it, don't eat it. That's it. It just comes down to that. Make it as easy as possible for yourself. Blue-green, by the way, spirulina is the highest protein content food in the world. 65% protein. It was the basic protein unit that fed Mexico City for 5,000 years. Anybody been to Mexico City? Mexico City is unbelievable. I mean, there's like 30 million people living there. And most of the population of Mexico lives in Mexico City. You figure they'd be like, let's just get the hell out of here and go live out in the forest or something. But I don't know. Anyway, what fed all those people all those years? What was their main unit of protein? Back in the old days, they didn't have cars, trucks, buses, trains, nothing like that. So they had to get a protein that into the city that was useful, dryable, and would keep. There's only so many times you can just be running around with chickens in the middle of some big city and that, you know, and keep things sanitary. And the way they did that was spirulina. In fact, the 3 top foods eaten in Mexico City were spirulina, cacao, and agave. Anybody tried those together? It's pretty good. And they've been eaten together for thousands of years. I mean, who knew? It had come to the point where people had forgotten completely what chocolate was. Completely. No idea it came from a nut, no idea what it was made from, nothing. It had come to that point. In fact, 10 years ago, if you were like at all in the health food world, you said, you know, what do you think about chocolate? You would have said, oh, it's poison. Right? I mean, that's what people were saying 10 years ago. Now it's a little different, isn't it? Now it's all the stuff's pointing to something in the chocolate. What's the something?
Magic.
Some kind of magic in there. And it's called the cacao bean, the original food. Just for people who are a little bit more esoteric or metaphysical, do we have any people like that in this audience? The cacao spirit, or the diva of the cacao tree, is the most human-like. That's why it's such an appropriate food for us. It has the same human flaws. The Faustian bargain, which is what the cacao god took. A short-term gain for a long-term tragedy. That's a deep one, because actually that whole story of Faust